Okay, so my name is Amanda Schleiniger. For those of you that I have not met, I am the local owner of Hustle and Heart Real Estate Group, Empower Real Estate Ogden, and Spread the Love nonprofit. I am the founder of Co-Creating a Beautiful Life series and workshops. And a lot of you may or may not know this, but I have a history of some pretty dark times, you know, and I think we all do in life, right? We've gone through some shit, and we feel broken, and we feel like it's the bottom, and what the fuck am I doing here? But you know, it's in those moments of darkness that I've been able to rise above and do some real self-development and find myself and help other people throughout their trials and tribulations as well. And throughout that process, I've aligned myself, and I like to say, manifested into my life some amazing motherfuckers like Julie Trujillo. And they all come into your life for a reason. And I believe that. And I also believe that every single one of you are sitting here for a reason as well. Because you guys are going to sift through her presentation and get the golden nuggets that are applicable to you in your life right now. And I am so fucking excited to be a part of that and to be able to put this on for you guys, because I feel like it's my destiny to change millions of people's lives for the better in one way or another. And I feel like by doing that, we're raising the vibration within our community, which is so important to me. So thank you guys for being here and partaking in this event. It is a free event. If you do want to make donations to our nonprofit, there's a Venmo or there's a cash jar up front. Feel free. It's not necessary, but just know that all donations just go back directly into our community to make a bigger difference. So, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now longitude, we are on series number 9 with the beautiful Julie Trujillo, who is a psychic medium and a clinical hypnotherapist.
She struggled for
I struggled on our video with this, okay? And I've been fucking practicing this in my brain all morning, just so you know. It was a tongue twister for me, and I was like, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna be like, but you know what? That was all meant to be if I did anyways. But I got it right.
You got it right.
I'm really proud of myself for that. So she's gonna be talking about healing within and how the universe has your back. And how powerful is that? Because I believe that with my heart and soul, that every single one of you are probably here to level up in life, yes? Yes. And you all probably have things that you carry along with you throughout life, and you're like, God, that really fucking sucked. I showed up as maybe not my best self today, but I promise you, you were exactly where you were supposed to be, doing exactly what you were supposed to be doing. Even as you're fucking up, because if you reflect back on it, you're going to make something beautiful out of it. And that's the kind of people that are in this room today. So give yourself a round of applause for being here.
Well, you just said what I was going to say.
Oh shit, I'm still in her shit.
No,
Sorry.
just kidding.
This is an intro. All right, well, let's give a warm welcome to Julie Trujillo.
Is this on?
It is on.
Okay.
Do you want to do both, or do you just want that?
Do you want me to do both? Just this.
It's up to you.
Okay. If I talk loud enough, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You guys are good. Okay.
I just like the mic. I just like the mic.
She likes to hear herself.
I think I'm an MC.
Can hide behind it.
I'm like, oh, it's cool. Yeah.
And I talk with my hands, so
I do too.
it'd be out here.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here today and being a part of this beautiful co-creating series that Amanda has created. She's such a wonderful person, always giving back. I just always laugh at Josh when he's like, quit giving our money away.
It's so true.
But that's amazing.
He says, I want to spend it. I need a new paddleboard. No.
Right.
No.
All right. I wanted to just take a moment, tell you a little bit about myself. I actually want to talk about how I met Amanda, because it does play a role in my life. And then we'll get going on some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. I live here in the Ogden area. I work at Hill Air Force Base full time, so they do know where I am. I'm not on gym time. But fortunately, I work for a flight chief that is very supportive, very kind of, supportive in the family part and the empowering. And he just got done telling me he read the first 5 people you meet when you get to heaven. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So it's great. Like I feel like he's very supportive, and he's like, "Yeah, you can talk to the." Come on in. So I am. Oh, there's two here. I won't spit on you. I'll back up a little bit.
Got you.
Yay!
Oh, there's more.
There you go.
Maybe we do need more chairs.
I'm always so rude.
That's okay. Go on. You're good.
We might need another chair. Well, they can take these two right
You just keep going.
Okay.
You got it, girl. You just keep going.
As Amanda introduced me, I am a psychic medium. I like the word intuitive. Sometimes that's not as scary for some people. I've been practicing and offering readings personally and group events for 6 or 7 years now. As a medium, I do the same. I offer them out of my home, or I also work through a shop in Ogden on 36th Street. So you can chat with me after or pick up one of my cards after if you're interested in a private reading or even a group reading. That's always fun too, to get together with a few people and have everyone come together. So I am a clinical hypnotherapist. Hypnotherapy, for those of you that don't quite know what that is another tool that I use in order to help you with healing and releasing. What I found was I would do readings for people, and my readings are very personal, bring up some things that have been in there deep down, you've buried, and those things will come up and spirit brings them up. And what I was finding is that those things would come up, and then we would talk about them, and then it would be like, okay, you need to heal that. Right? And then they're sitting there going, okay, how do I do that? Like, what do I do? So, I mean, there are some things that I can suggest and that you can do, but I really felt like becoming a hypnotherapist was the next thing for me to do, because it allowed us to go from the what is going on, what is affecting me, what is happening in my life, to how am I going to work through that? How am I going to release it? How am I going to not let those thoughts, feelings, and emotions run my life? How do I start running my own life? So I became a hypnotherapist. I use hypnotherapy for limiting beliefs, which would be like, self-esteem, self-doubt, any of those things that you feel, that are like, you feel like hold you back. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I also use it for traumatic events. So if there's things in your past that have happened that you just can't seem to get over, and a lot of times even you may think you've worked through it or it's over, you're still not. It's still affecting. It's still created a belief system within yourself that you now operate under. It's kind of like that operating system. It's there, you installed it, so it's just running back there. So we'll go in and access those things. Hypnotherapy can be used for sports enhancement. I tell that to guys and they're like, ooh, you can make me a better golfer? So yes, the answer is yes, if you're willing to do the work. Sports enhancement, weight loss, weight management, stop smoking, better sleep. What's the other one? Oh, like loss. Like a lot of people just can't get over the loss of loved ones. Hypnotherapy can be an effective tool for that. So I wanted to just say that I will use a couple of words throughout my presentation today, and I wanted to explain what they mean. So when I say spirit, when I'm referring to spirit, just know that I'm referring to spirit in your soul, spirit guides, if anyone's heard of that term, the universe, creator, God. I'll use some of those terms. To me, universe, God, creator, all the same. So whatever you believe in, just take it as that. I'm not here to push one thing or another. And so just know that those, and universe, I'll use that word a lot. So Source, yes, all of those to me it's all the same. So whatever you identify with and resonate with, okay? I also teach a lot of classes, do a lot of classes in the community around psychic abilities and self-improvement, those types of things. I'm also a trainer on bass as well. I wanted to thank the 2 males that came today. Yeah, there are 2, I know. For embracing that energy. I want to thank Eric that's sitting right here. This is my boyfriend that came to support me and be a part of the energy. So I want to start with how I met Amanda, because it really, in 2015, when I met her, it was in a really, really, really dark place in my life. It didn't necessarily start completely there, but my at the time, husband and I had decided to get divorced, and we had decided to sell the house. And through a connection, Amanda rang the doorbell with her sassy self. And right? Yes. Nobody disagrees, right? Yeah. And that's our initial meeting. But and what the initial plan was is that we were going to sell our house, and my soon-to-be my daughter's father was going to buy his own house, and I was going to buy my own house. And we were getting ready to list it and hit the market, and within that week or 2 weeks' time, I was fired from my job of 25 years. And it almost makes me cry right now, because that's a lot of time. I put a lot of time and energy into that organization. And it really, my whole life changed, because now I couldn't buy a house. You gotta have a job, right? So now I'm homeless, jobless, and husbandless, which is okay. Yeah. It was my choice for some personal reasons. But that summer, and that's the summer that the song by Maroon 5, "This Summer Is Gonna Hurt Like a Motherfucker," that's like, I was like, he wrote that for me. That song came out. So, and why I wanted to tell you that is because, and then I met Miss Donna and worked at Old Republic Title. So, and that was amazing. So I had some beautiful angels in my life that came into my life that moved me along, and I worked at Old Republic Title for a minute. Not long enough. And then I was offered a job on bass, and I've been there ever since. So I have an amazing life, and it's always been amazing. What I can look at now is I can see, and I can now identify that everything that I wanted prior to all of those things happening, I wanted all of that. I wanted a new job. I had tried to get on bass for 6 or 7 years, kept applying. I was not happy in my marriage. And I can look at it now, and I can see that every single thing that I wanted, I got. Right? But it's not the way that I wrote it. It's not the way that I was like, oh, I'm going to get out my journal, and I'm going to write down, I'm going to have a great job, I'm going to own my own home, I'm going to have an amazing partner in life. It's not how it happened, right? The universe dragged me through the mud, really. Why I say that is because, I tried for so many years to get a new job. I kind of stuck out in the marriage, kind of stayed there, not very happy. And I just kept saying, well, I really like a new job. Well, I'm really not very happy. And the universe finally said, all right, well, if you're not going to do it, we're going to kick your ass out there, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it. Yeah. Right? Has that ever happened to anybody?
Yes.
And you're like, what the hell is going on? Right? Can you now look back and see that that happened, though that event happened, or that interaction with that person or people or event, that had to happen in order for you to be where you are today?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So the hard part, though, is when you're in those dark moments, or I like to call it the dark night of the soul. When you're in those dark moments and you're like, I can't do this. Like, what is going on? Why can't I catch a break? Why is this happening to me? Why does God hate me? Like, if you're able to step back and realize that the universe has your back, and that this too, what you're going through, is for you. It's for you. It may very well just be the universe kicking your ass right out there to make the change, to get the new job, to move, to adjust within a relationship you might be in. A lot of times the universe will do that. Kicks you right out there. Okay? And within those things that are happening, you're learning life lessons. The lessons are in there. Anybody feel like they've learned a lesson in their life? 1, 2, 10, 20, 100 in one right now. Right? What about repeating lessons? Have you noticed that you have repeating relationships with people? Whether it's an intimate or not intimate, it doesn't have to be intimate. But repeating, or the same types of people come into your life. Or you get a job and it's like the same environment. Okay? That is part of your life lessons. That is part of what you're here to do, what you're here to learn, and how your soul grows, and how you learn and ascend within the spiritual world. Okay? Because we're all here as a soul having a human experience. Does everyone identify with that? Yes. I think if you're here, you're probably in those belief systems, right? So we come here for a reason. You're here for a reason. You chose this life. You picked this life. And I'm going to say some scary ones. You picked your parents. You picked your friends. You picked your partners, whether you're still with them or not. You picked everything, and you set it all up. And you set everything up so that you would learn. And that you would learn the lessons that you're supposed to learn in this life. Okay? I want you guys to think about someone in your life, or maybe it's not a someone, maybe it's an event that was really, really hard, that caused a lot of pain, someone that wronged you, an event that changed your life. Usually there's people involved in that event. And if you think about those people, how do you feel about them? Anybody? How do you feel about those individuals that caused you harm? Or maybe you don't feel it anymore, but maybe, like, how did you feel?
Hatred.
Heartbroken, hatred, anger, right?
Fear.
Pardon me? Fear. Fear's a big one. Betrayed. Okay. So those individuals that created all those emotions and those experiences for you did that for you.
I believe that.
Per a soul contract. So you, within your soul groups, in the spirit world, you have soul groups, and I call them soulmates, because soulmates don't have to be intimate. They can be friends, family, teachers. But usually your soul groups and your soulmates are within your circle of people that you interact with throughout your life. Even ex-spouses and ex-partners. Okay? You create a soul contract with them before you come into your life. And they agree, just like you agree, to be a part of their life and to create lessons for them. So if I were to say, those individuals that wronged you or made you feel hatred or heartbroken or betrayed, if I were to say they did that because they did it for you, can you accept that? Okay. And know that your role in that relationship with them, you played that role for them and for their growth. Because we're not all saints, right? We all play, there's two sides. And we play a role in their growth and their learning. And it is okay that people come and go in your life. Because those individuals that you have soul contracts with, you had a soul contract to have an experience with them for a certain period of time. Some people come in and they stay forever. Some people come in and they stay for a season and or a reason. And you can probably look at those relationships in your life and go, yep, I know what the reason was in that one. Patience or forgiveness or something like that. So if you're able to look at those individuals and those events and see them as learning experiences and see them as lessons, you're way ahead of the curve, okay? You're way ahead of the learning that everyone else is out there struggling to do. And if we learn to forgive for yourself, that releases that energy. Because whatever you hold for those individuals that have wronged you, you hold for yourself. If you hold anger or betrayal, you hold that for yourself. And what I mean by that is when you hold those emotions, and those are the emotions that are in here, by law of attraction, that's what you attract. So those repeating relationships or repeating cycles of people that you're like, it's just a different face with the same story. So if you notice that that's happening, if you're able to look at the relationship and identify what is it that's repeating? What is it? Is it betrayal? Is it distrust? Is it patience? Is it anger? And maybe it's anger that you're working through. And once you're able to look at those things and see them, and I just call it pluck them out of there, then you're able to release that and start to work on what's like the emotions inside that you want to have. I want to have forgiveness. I want to have love for everyone. And that's hard sometimes for people when I say, well, you have to love your ex. You have to love, your sister that wronged you or your mom that wronged you, whatever it is. That's hard, right? It's sometimes hard to accept. But if you hold a space in your heart of love and gratitude for what they brought to you in your life and the lessons that you learned, then you begin to release and heal those things. Okay?
You're doing that psychic shit. I can feel it. I can feel it. She's going and intuitive.
Psychic. Yes and no.
Yeah.
But I won't speak it.
Okay.
So, knowing that some of the hardest people in your life that you've had to experience, those are your best teachers. Okay? They're the ones that brought you the most. And they're the ones that made you dig in deep and find the strength within to carry on. Because you're here, you're a survivor, you're powerful. So if we learn to have a place of gratitude for those situations, then you begin to heal. So I would like for you to, if you don't mind, is everyone done eating for the most part?
Yes.
Because I'm going to have you close your eyes. So if everyone would just put both feet on the floor, sit up straight. And I would like for you to just close your eyes and just focus on my voice. And I would like for you to begin to take some deep breaths. Just feeling that air going in through your nose. You can exhale through your mouth if you'd like, whatever feels comfortable. Just feeling that air going into your lungs, into your abdomen. Just focusing on that. Bringing your awareness to that breath, bringing it to the present, bringing it forward. I don't want you in the back of your head, in your imagination, in your memories. Just being present. Sometimes that's a struggle. Maybe just focus your awareness on the end of your nose, but with your eyes closed. Taking some breaths, relaxing. Just relaxing. Feeling your body become very limp, letting your muscles go. Allowing your neck to release and your shoulders to release. Drop down just a little bit. Just focusing on that breath. What I would like for you to do now is I would like for you to direct your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. And I would like for you to find that event or that individual that created negative emotions within you. Find that event, find that individual, and bring that into your awareness. It should be in the center of your head, bringing that awareness there. Visualizing, you may even be able to see them in your mind, but knowing that you are safe, you're in a safe place, nothing can hurt you. I first would like for you to allow yourself to feel those emotions that you feel around that person initially. So I'm referring to the not so good to the not so good emotions. I want you to feel them. I want you to feel how they feel within your body. How does your body react? I would like for you now to identify those emotions. I would like for you to label them. Is it fear? Is it anger? Label those emotions. It's important that we label our emotions or identify or acknowledge them, because so many times we have these emotions and feelings around people and events in our lives, and we never really acknowledge them. We just know that they're there, and we just stuff them inside. We hold them in there. So I would like for you to label those. Feeling those, I want you to feel them. Now I would like for you to look at that situation, at that event, at that person within your mind. And I would like for you to acknowledge them and the event, at how that made you a better person, how that grew your soul to who you are today, even though you're maybe still working through things. Acknowledge how you feel. Maybe it's made you feel more empowered. Maybe you feel stronger. Maybe you feel more independent. Acknowledge what you received from that event or those people. I now want you, with those acknowledgments, I want you to feel a sense of gratitude within your heart chakra that's right at the center of your chest. I want you to feel it in there. I want you to acknowledge the love and the gratitude that you have for these individuals, because they are souls just like you, journeying their own path, learning their own lessons. Sometimes that's hard. But if we can honor them as a soul, and we can honor them as a soul mate, and we honor that they're doing what they came here to do so that you can learn, so that your soul can grow. Acknowledge those things that individual has created for you. Offer this individual or this event. I want you to offer love to them. Offer gratitude to them. And if you feel comfortable enough, and it's up to you, offer forgiveness. And of course, this is just within yourself. Offering forgiveness is very powerful. It doesn't make anything right or wrong. It just allows you to release those emotions and feelings around that individual. Without forgiveness, and if we hold on to those negative emotions, they are our power. They control us. They hold you in that space. They hold you in that time and that event and that communication. So by offering them forgiveness, it allows you to walk away, to release it, to begin to heal. I now would like for you to tell these emotions within yourself, these emotions of fear and anger and betrayal. I would like for you to tell them within yourself, you no longer serve me. I no longer need you. You are not welcome in my awareness. And ask them to go. Can you feel anything in your physical body when you ask them to go? Do you feel anything releasing, changing, removing? If you don't, that's okay. But sometimes you'll feel it in the center of your stomach or on your shoulders or in your abdomen or your chest. You can actually feel that attachment of negativity. You can feel it remove itself. So when you feel that you have removed it, asked it to go, we've thanked the energy, we've thanked the individuals, we offer them gratitude, and we honor their souls. And we honor that they will journey forward. And know that these individuals that have been in your lives, that have created these feelings, know that the universe has your back, and what karmic debt that needs to happen will happen. And that's all you have to believe in. It will take care of itself. And if you can believe and have trust and faith in the universe, that's very powerful. So I would like for you to take some deep breaths again, just releasing that energy. Get rid of the rest of it as you exhale, just letting it go. Any residual energy that's no longer serving you. Just take some deep breaths. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back to the space. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes.
Woo! Just had to fucking do it. Sorry. that was great.
How was it? Who said that? Okay, sorry, I just heard a voice. Good. Anybody want to share anything? I know it's very personal and private, but if there's anything that anyone wants to share with the group about their experience with their releasing, it's okay. It is very powerful. And know that what I just did, you can do all by yourself in the comfort of your own home, in your pajamas, in front of the TV, right? HD TV and me every night.
I love it.
I want to be a stager.
No, I love it.
I want to stage homes.
I love it.
I know, I should, right? I've wanted to. No, really, it is something that you can do. You have all the power and everything already here. And so many people seek out outside help, and that's okay because sometimes we need that. I'm not here to bash that in any way. I'm just here to say you have it all here. It's learning how to access it and use it and trust it. And the power of your mind is so huge. Yes?
So I'll share.
Yes.
I feel so inclined to share.
Absolutely. Then you should.
The rest of the day.
Will you tell us your name?
Nicole.
Nicole.
So I had let go of feelings from my abuser. It's been 20 plus years. I've been through lots of therapy.
Okay.
So that was gone. I forgive him. I've actually said I wouldn't be the woman I was today if he wouldn't have done what he did to me for all those years. I would not be me. And however, now I have a 24-year-old, and he is hurting her in a different way because he's in Japan, so he's going to lay hands on her.
Right.
But he is hurting her in a really deep way that's really hard to watch as a mom. And so I've already forgiven him for my experience, but in doing the exercise we just did, I have to forgive him for what he's doing to my daughter too. And understand that he's now helping her learn whatever lesson, but that's not my half, that is not my pain, that is, I learned my lesson from him. And as much as it hurts, she's had to learn her lesson from him in her way, and hopefully I can help her let go of some of this. Because
Absolutely.
she's in a lot of pain right now. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And those types of situations are very hard because as parents, we don't want them to go through what we went through. We don't want them to experience the pain and the fear. And it doesn't mean that we're not there loving and supporting our children or our loved ones, whoever they might be, and doing what we can. But we just talked about this on Saturday. We do a coffee and conversation at Vibes in Ogden, and we were just talking about this thing about that we can't control. You can't control. You guys all know you can't control what goes on over here. You can't control him. I can't control you. And so sometimes we just have to say, I honor your journey. I honor your soul, and that's what I had you guys do, is to honor those individuals in your lives' souls. It doesn't mean that that what they're doing is right or that we're condoning the behavior, but they're going to learn that the perpetrator is going to learn their own lesson in their own way. And I shared with you in the meditation, and I'll go a little bit further, now that your eyes are open, looking at me, about karmic debt. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or karma? I have a funny story about karma. Side reel off. At work one day, I was in the break room, and I know her name is Karma. And she came in, and she was at the sink doing something, and there was a side conversation over here, and it was something that, and I said, well, you know, Karma's a bitch. And she turned and looked at me, and I was like, I don't mean you.
Not you.
Not you, I meant like, you know, good thing she has a sense of humor. Anyways, karmic debt. Knowing that the universe will take care of it. And you have to have a lot of faith and trust. And I saw you smile when I said that. You did smile when you were meditating. So, if you have faith and trust in the universe and know that the universe always has your back, always wants the best for you, is orchestrating every event to get you to your best place, to get you to your best version of yourself. If you can trust it, and you can just, just like a lagoon, you get on the Colossus and they buckle you in, and if you can ride it out. But right, we get on the Colossus and we trust it. We trust that we're going to get on and we're going to ride it and it's going to be fun and thrilling and a little bit scary, and then we get off and we're good. So if you can do the same thing with life and the events that come at you, you're going to get off the ride and everything's going to be okay. Okay? Karmic debt works, in my experience, what has brought me a huge amount of peace in my life is knowing that when the souls of those individuals that we have struggled with or had those interactions with, is knowing that when their time comes for them to cross back over and go home, I call it home. Anyone ever yearn to go there, but not in a suicide way? Like I do sometimes, but it's not like I don't want to not be here.
Right.
I just have this feeling of wanting to be there. Maybe it's just me. But I have a connection to the other side, so I experience it and know that it's there. When those individuals, and yourselves included, when you cross over or they cross over, I'm just going to say we, you're met by your loved ones and your spirit guides. Does everyone know what spirit guide is? And it's okay if you don't. I'll explain it. No. Spirit guides are I call them our personal assistant on the other side. So each of you have spirit guide or guides. Most of you have many. And they are with you. They're kind of like your teacher. And they're with you before you incarnate into this world. They're with you throughout your life. They never leave you, and they're there when you go back. They're usually not your relatives. It's not great grandma. It's not mom. It's not dad. They're on your team. Your relatives that have passed are on the team. They're there. But you have spirit guides. And those individuals assist you throughout your life. So when you cross over and you go back, your loved ones are there, your spirit guides, your animals, they're there. Because when I do readings, your animals will show up as well. So know that they're all there waiting. Yours will be there. She has cute dogs. And once you have your reunion, you'll meet with your spirit guides. And you'll do what they call, and when I say they, it's been communicated through spirit, they do a reflection. And you do a reflection with your spirit guides, and you are allowed to go through those events in your life where you have made someone feel bad, or you have wronged someone, and whatever that is, and you are allowed to feel that. You get to feel. If I wronged Amanda and she was hurt really bad, I would feel that as a soul. So I would know how I made her feel. So when your individuals that cross over that have wronged you, when they get there, they go through that reflection time. They feel how they made you feel. They view it and they feel it. And for me, that's mankind, the creation of hell. That's what religion here and mankind and the creation, they've created hell. To me, that's hell, but that's not hell, but that's what they're referring to. Does that make sense? Did I connect that okay? So there's not a hell. I've never done a reading, and I've done readings for people who their loved ones have committed suicide, wronged other people, have taken other people's lives through military actions, friendly fires. Those souls come through from the other side. They're in the spirit world. So they go through the reflection, they feel, they see, and that's how they begin to learn. That's how their soul learns and grows. And then they begin to, when it's time to incarnate again, they begin to create the new life and choose the new life based on those experiences. So it's not all the time and not every time, but let's say, for example, I'm going to take Nicole's, because you shared, the individual that's your perpetrator. That individual in a next life may incarnate and be a victim of abuse in one form or another, but may suffer because of someone else. That's part of the karmic debt, but that's how we grow. That's how we learn. And we keep going until we figure it out. Nobody's going to say anything about, well, how do you figure it out? So we keep coming and we keep incarnating. Does everybody believe in that? Nobody not? It's okay if you don't.
Have you read Journey of the Soul?
Yes.
I'm reading that right now.
Absolutely. One of my favorites.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yes.
Not only finished, but
Yes, and so knowing that the universe and spirit and creator and God and source will take care of some people are like, I want revenge. I want him to hurt, or I want her to hurt, like they hurt me. It'll be taken care of. So if you can step away from the way that you feel and pull out those lessons and pull out, why is it this individual made me feel this way? How is my life better? Or how am I making it better? Then you're going to stop that repeating cycle. You're going to stop it. And you won't have to come back anymore. You'll be done.
So you don't have to come back anymore?
Your soul has the option. You
So
get
don't
to
have,
choose.
Like, a set number of chances
Nope.
before they're like, hey, you're done.
Yeah. You go over
You
there,
gotta do
you go over
something
there. Yeah.
Do you get to come back and be some
You're now a
guardian
turtle.
angel? Can you do that? Can you just be a guardian angel for somebody?
You can, your soul gets to choose
Oh, cool.
what you choose to do. And I do feel like we come here and we come because we want to learn and we want to ascend and grow. It's kind of like we start out in, preschool and kindergarten and we kind of go through until we get to a place. And that's why where you'll hear like, oh, it's a young soul or an old soul or something like that. You can usually tell, or they're just working through. I do want to say, if anyone has experienced someone with a situation of suicide, know that those souls that commit suicide are old souls. And the reason why is because they've been coming here for thousands of years. Like we incarnate for thousands of years. If not more than thousands. I did a past life hypnotherapy with a gal the other day, and she went back and she couldn't even tell me, she's like, I don't even know that we're keeping track of time yet in the life she went to. So know that we incarnate. Now, time is different on the other side. There is no time. So it's hard to apply that. But know that you come at different times, and there can be multiple dimensions. I'm not going to go into that.
What's your perspective regarding the suicide epidemic that we're going through and seeing
What I feel like is the older souls that come for a reason, and they have agreed to come. And they're here for a journey. They're here for a mission. There's something they came here to do. And they either can't do it or they struggle to do it. Or most of those individuals, if you maybe think about if you know somebody, they struggle to fit in. They struggle to feel like they're part or that they're home. And so a lot of times that strong feeling of I don't want to be here anymore, but I don't understand why. Like when I said sometimes I want to go there, but I'm not suicidal. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that powerful feeling of wanting to go back takes over. So their souls choose to come here, and we choose to come here to learn our lessons. As your soul gets older and you've learned your lessons. So it's really important. I'm standing up here to say it's really important you learn your lessons, boys and girls. Right? It's like a teacher.
That's what you are.
But what I'm saying is, you're going to keep coming if you don't learn the lessons.
I agree with that.
So, so what I'm trying to help you understand is and when you learn the lesson is when you are able to pull out of it what it is and creating a better life for yourself and creating a better you. You don't hate. You're not angry. You're not mean. You're not rude. So when all of those things and you're able to move past those things and you come from a more loving place. And I know it's hard sometimes to love everyone, but you can, sometimes I'm like, some days it's just, I just have to be neutral. Right? And every day is a different day. But if you know that what's going on today and how you feel today, there's better days ahead. And you're like, hey, I know it's going to get better because it got better last time and it got a better time than before. It's going to get better. Okay. Choosing your lives. So you get to choose your lives. Your spirit guides help you with that. They help you kind of orchestrate that. You choose your parents. For some people, that's a good thing. Some people are like, ugh. But no, you chose them for a reason.
Yes.
You chose them for a reason. And you can probably look at your childhood and say, okay, this is what I learned, or this is what I didn't learn, or this is how I'm going to be a better parent, or these are the qualities that my parents had and I'm going to go forward because they were amazing qualities. Or these were not so good qualities. Okay? So if you can look at it and say, yeah, these were not good qualities, I'm not doing that. And you're able to pull out of that because those are your lessons. Those are your contrast. Those are the things we don't want to do. That's the contrast. And if you're able to pull those things out, you're learning the lesson. And it's going to stop repeating. Anybody want to share anything? Lessons? Repeating? Yes?
I so resonate with that we choose our parents, and for two reasons that is just really like hitting me.
Okay.
The first because I was sexually abused by my father, and that was a weight I carried very long, for most of my life, because I grew up LDS, and the LDS religion said to sweep that shit under the rug.
Right.
I did. But now I have a voice and a platform, and I use that, and I'm an advocate, and I'm loud as hell.
Absolutely.
That.
Right.
And then on the other side, I have a 14-year-old autistic son, and I'm sitting here thinking, how lucky am I that he chose me?
Absolutely.
He chose me.
I just got chills. Everybody else?
I think all the time, I'm not strong enough for this shit. Like, why? Why? But he chose me.
Right.
So I am like, just, yes. I love that.
Does it? Yeah. I love when you put together the dots. You start to connect the dots. Anybody else connecting dots?
Can I ask you something? Because just going back to you, Stacey, I think there's a third with you, which you're a huge voice in, which is adoption. So even though that, and I want to hear your thoughts on that, even though the baby chose you, you chose that there was someone better. So how does that work? What are your thoughts on that? She was meant to just carry them, but really they were chosen to go to this other mom and dad.
Through
correct?
adoption?
Through adoption. Because you have a child who's adopted as well.
Yes.
So I would like to see that perspective on that, since we're on that.
That's a good question.
I love that question. I'm like, babe, I'm going to go down this fucking rabbit trail.
I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
I believe that my daughter still chose me.
Absolutely. I love that.
So I don't feel like it's any different.
Good.
Whether we carry them in our physical body or they come in a physical form and they're put in our arms. They still choose. It's still a soul contract.
And what I think is cool about that is because a birth mother had a soul contract with you,
Yep.
to get your child to
Absolutely.
you.
Yes.
It's the same path,
the
just
same.
through the physical and the spiritual. That's
It's the same
fucking
thing.
beautiful. I love
So birth mom, I call her tummy mommy. For my daughter, yes, absolutely. Soul contract with her, even though, like, you know, in the physical, you don't know until it happens world. Soul contract with her that she would give up her baby,
Deliver your baby.
have a baby, and allow me and her father to be the parents, so that I could experience that. I did a past life reading several years ago. It resonates for me because in that life, which I actually lived parallel lives, I was alive in this body while my other energy was alive. You can do that. We just talked about that. Yeah. So I lived a little parallel. I died in the 80s. My other soul moved back in the 80s. And in that life, I had no children. I never got married. I didn't really do anything. I wanted to be a nurse, and I died alone. I saw myself, and she took me through my death, which was painless, because we can do that as hypnotherapists, right? So I really feel like this life for me, and it's a little bit of a struggle because I never was one that wanted like a big, huge family or 6, 7 kids or 2.
A big, huge family too.
But I didn't have that desire. Some people have desire to have big families, and that's part of your soul growth for whatever reason. It's nothing against anybody. It's no judgment. But I feel like that was part of this life for me, is coming here and doing something, God damn it. Because I didn't do anything in my last life. So I have an amazing life. I had amazing parents with their own idiosyncrasies. But I came here and I did something. And I'm doing something, and my soul came here as a healer and a light worker to do something. And that's what I'm doing. Okay. What other questions do you guys have before we move to a little bit more mind management stuff? Spirit guides?
What about numbers? I've been seeing all of a sudden like 444, 555, 1111, like, but it's like, I've always noticed it before, but I would say over the last few weeks, it's like on fire. It's
Okay.
just like, you got to know 444 or whatever.
Okay.
You know? So and I've looked up a little bit of it, but the message that I read, and I just want to know, like, your perspective was that the spirit is saying that you are on the right path, you are making the right decisions. So.
I would back that up. I would also say there's probably something in your life that you're contemplating or thinking about, or like I maybe want to do something. You're looking for an answer. That's the universe giving you validation, giving you, hey, here, you got it. So many times, we can talk about the universe and spirit guides. So many times we get signs and symbols, and we get them all day long, and we don't trust them, right? We're waiting to pick up our phone and have universe, text me. Says I'm on the right path, good to go.
Pretty sure there's an app that
That's why I look around. She has an email. I love it.
That's good.
I get my daily universe update.
Yes.
There you go.
I really do, every day.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And it's pretty spot on. It really is.
Perfect. My point is that we are looking for this solid sign or solid symbol of validation, that we want this moment where we're like, oh, that was it. I'm on the right path. No question, no doubt. This is it.
I always receive signs, but sometimes like I find dimes like crazy too when I'm on the same path, but now I'm not finding dimes. I'm just seeing them like number sequences now. So I'm like, okay. So I figured it was still, but
It's still validation. Yeah. The universe speaks to you every day, sending you signs and symbols every day. And when I say universe, I mean your loved ones, spirit guides, whatever it is that connects with you. So you don't have to like say, oh, it must be grandma. like, take it. Accept it. If you keep getting 444s, those are your signs. Like, accept them. Okay, universe, what else you got for me? Okay?
I had a weird coincidence last night with numbers. Me and Cam were playing poker with some guys, like super random, spontaneous. Well, my lucky number is 3, and always in 333 or 33, whatever, but usually 333. Well, he's been talking about how he loses at poker all the time lately, and I never go. Well, I'm sitting right next to him, and he got pocket 3s, ends up folding right before the river was another 3, would have been 333.
Yeah.
So the next time he got pocket 3s again and held on to it and won, and I'm like, what the hell? This is so weird. Well, I left because I was tired, so I'm like, he'll just have to Uber home. He lost all his money right after I left. I was like, that is so weird. I'm like, what?
Well, see, I'm good for more than one reason. You gotta keep me around forever.
I just thought it was weird, and it was my lucky number, and I was there as soon as I left. I don't know.
Don't mind us.
Yeah. It's lunchtime.
It's our time.
Oh, okay.
Tell us to go
Lunchtime.
eat if we haven't already.
You have to tell yourself to go, remind yourself to eat. I know.
You should have left with me.
Usually you are like, I gotta stop and eat.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that's just weird coincidences though with numbers when it's like that?
I don't think so.
I see it signs like that with crystal too, like
Nope.
11/11 all time.
Nope.
but No.
No, there are no coincidences.
That's exactly.
It's all, I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense, and you're like, I don't know how to make sense of it.
That was just really his good luck charm.
Possibly.
Yes.
We're
Possibly.
gonna just say yes. You're gonna go with that.
I was like, that's so weird.
So it could be, this just popped into my head, is it could have been to keep him there, because if he had left, he could have gotten an accident. So sometimes we don't know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you don't know because nothing happens.
Right.
But you didn't get in an accident. But
But yeah, like
universe
there's
would have been different because he would have taken longer to get in. Like things could have been.
yeah, so
different,
maybe yeah,
Right?
because he was winning, right?
Yeah.
So, but like if he hadn't have been winning, and he's like, screw this, I'm out,
Right.
I'm bouncing, or I gotta run to the store and get sodas or beer or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it could have been something where you have no idea.
Just was right for that moment.
It just was that moment, and that's what had to happen. So you don't have to, like, we so much want to like make we so much want to make a meaning out of everything, or like, what does this mean?
Yeah. I
Just
love
know,
numbers.
just validating you're on the right path.
Yeah.
And look for it again. But signs and symbols are a great way for you to communicate with your spirit guides and your loved ones. That way, you know that they're there, and it's always nice to get those little signs and symbols to know that, hey, I'm here, got your back, right? You can ask for signs and symbols. Know that with your spirit guides, your loved ones will give you signs all the time, because they want to make sure you know that they're there. But with your spirit guides, if you're wanting to build a relationship with them, they're not going to go anywhere if you don't. But if you're wanting to build that and really start connecting and communicating with them, you have to ask, you have to invoke them. So it's kind of like, I liken it to, say you're a lawyer and you have a paralegal that sits out in front. And the paralegal kind of does the busy work in the background and gets everything ready and gets you all prepared, and then you go off to court and you do your job. And they just kind of work back there. But if there's something specific that you need, you go out there and you're like, paralegal, I need you to do this and this and this and this. And so then he is like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do all those things. I didn't know you needed that, but I can do it for you. So it's the same with your spirit guides. If you invoke them, if you ask them, then they'll react and respond. Yes?
And I have a funny story to tell about that. So I had just very beginning to learn how to do Reiki, healing and stuff. And, my head's always up in the clouds. So I don't pass by, not even notice anything. So I said to my guys, well, if you need my attention, just pop me over the head, Well, that will get my attention. So anyways, I do this Reiki session, and something was come through, but I questioned it. And then I tried to dismiss it. And I got hit with a bolt of lightning on my head. Like, okay.
That's it.
So
Yes.
but yeah,
Yes.
so that's
Perfect.
what got my attention that time.
But so many times, and that's a great point, and I'm glad that you brought that up, is that you get the guidance, you get the signs, you get the thoughts, and it's there, and then you're like, where'd that come from? Well, just go on. And you dismiss it, because it's there. But usually those things that pop into your head or just appear, you didn't have to search for it. So when I say search, I mean when I say, go back there and find and visualize what your bedroom looks like. So you just kind of searched back there, or maybe your bed popped up in here and you saw it. But if you get things that just pop in there, know that that's spirit. And they're bringing that information to you. And usually that stuff that pops in, or if you ask a question and you're like, I really want some guidance in this, or I really need to know, is this the right answer or the wrong answer? What is it that pops in there? Or what is the first thing that you see or hear next, or within that time period? And if you can trust it, usually the first thing that comes, or the first thing you get, that's it. But what happens is we get it and we feel it here, your heart muscle fires, and scientific research has shown that when you receive something and you have to make a decision or a choice, your heart muscle fires. And within 10 seconds, goes up here, and then your brain fires. And then what do?
Try to make logic.
Then we think it to death.
Yep.
And then we go, I don't know. And then the ego kicks in. And then your fears kick in. And then your belief systems kick in. And then pretty soon you're like, well, that's a dumb idea. And then you don't do it. Or you don't act on it. Or you don't accept it. Okay? Sometimes the universe will send it again in a different way. Or through a different channel, through a different sign. Sometimes the universe will kick you on your ass. And you end up fired and jobless and homeless. And
What about like seeing people that have like passed on? Like I've had or one of my dearest friends, so she's like one of my soulmates for sure. I've known her since she was 5. And she called me one day. She's like, "You're not gonna believe this, but I just saw your grandpa." And I'm like, "Well, thank you for calling and telling me that." But she was like so it was
accurate. Absolutely. What most likely is your grandpa tries to communicate with you, and you're not receiving it or accepting it, and or your grief is, I'm going to just say, thick. Do you know what I mean? So your grief and your hurt is so thick that he can't get through. So he's delivering the message through someone else to deliver it to you in the physical world. Mm-hmm. So, has it not been long?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But it had not been long at the time that...
Oh yeah, next week.
But how long was it?
Like between his passing
and then that happened?
I have probably like 6-7 years. So.
Okay. So he's trying. They'll try to get through. They'll try to either come through your dreams, or they'll leave signs or symbols, or you'll just like be driving and you're like, smells. Or you have a feeling you're not alone. Mm-hmm. But if you're not accepting it, if he doesn't feel like you're accepting it, then they'll try to get a message through someone else to communicate to you. So that would be what that is.
If you see them.
Yeah, and if
I wouldn't be scared. But
sometimes, right, and so many times. Thanks, ladies, for coming. Thank you for sharing.
We have a workshop to do too.
Okay.
So I gotta get back to you.
Love you.
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So we're sisters,
Mm-hmm.
but my grandma has always loved her dimes, and she's always found dimes.
I find them and she doesn't. And she's like, I don't find anything, and
But
my
my
husband
grandma
finds them
told me.
now. It's crazy.
But my grandma told me like I was her favorite.
She's like, so I'm mad.
She's never left me like dimes, or like, our younger sister will find dimes, but I don't. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
she told me.
Are you open?
So she's like, I'm kind of mad about
Are
it.
you open to having those
Yeah.
signs?
And I see numbers. I do see like 222 or 111 or 1011. That's my birthday, but I see 1011 a lot. Or,
Okay.
11/11, just, you know what I mean? But
Okay.
I feel like, since she said I was her favorite, like she would be with me more, and I do feel her sometimes, but,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I want a dime.
She,
Like, she has a little.
Grandma, drop me a dime.
Yeah.
It'll be so cheap. It's just a dime.
all I want, $10 bills. She shows me a pink flower, because there's something pink. A pink flower,
Pink cookie?
a pink what?
Cookie? Is it a pink cookie?
It looks like a flower to me. Is it a flower cookie?
I don't even know if I can say this out loud.
Say it.
So our younger sister and mom took care of my grandma well, you know, like her in life. But she was like a dirty old lady. And she always like would say really inappropriate funny things.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that life. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I loved it. But she would call her lady parts like a pink cookie.
Which to you is a flower.
Is that how you
I saw it like as a carnation,
She
so.
wanted my mom, like she's like kept joking with my mom and my sister, like, we gotta dye my hair pink. You know what I mean? Like,
But did you guys say pink cookie? Like, were those words?
Yeah.
Then she just had me say them.
yeah, she was like, ooh, I like, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I do feel like, what's your name?
Chanel.
Chanel.
Chanel. I do feel like a pink flower, even though like that's her, so she just validated that it was her that's communicating. I do feel like it's a pink flower for you, a sign, because that's your personality, right? The kind of like what you just said. Yeah, she was funny, and like I'm kind of that way, and I'm kind of roll the same way. So she's giving you a different sign. The dime is for you. And do you
I
have a
also
pink?
wonder if I like need signs more than she needs signs. Like, you know, like my grandma's like more worried or like want to make sure I'm on the right path.
Sure.
And she's like, oh, Chanel
rock
solid. Yeah,
Right.
she's
She's
good.
more
I don't know.
like wild and free, and I think that's how my grandma was. And Crystal's a little bit more like reserved. She doesn't like when we like tell nasty jokes. She like gets flustered.
Yeah, you should see it when we hang out in Mexico.
I'm not hearing that.
She's the mom. Come on, girls. So it's for you because that's your personality, and so your sign is going to be different because that resonates for you.
Yeah.
Pink cookie wouldn't resonate for you, right? So
But it went very much for me. Yeah. Yeah.
So I do feel like, so out of this conversation, I do feel like her sign to you is a pink flower, and I see it like as a carnation, which makes sense for some stuff down there.
Because you bloom like a flower sometimes, girl.
And she would always she would always make jokes like that.
Okay.
And one time firefighters
Perfect.
would get her out of the house, and she'd like tell my mom, hurry and unbutton my shirt so the firemen can
She sounds like me.
And I'm very much like wild, like
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch for pink carnation
Pink,
flowers
right.
and see if you are starting to see them more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe you were this whole time, you were blinded. It's kind of like
Yeah,
when
because
you're
you're
honed in on
so
something, you're looking for a
Right.
fucking dime.
You're-
Maybe you
yeah.
the flowers come through in a different way for you. that
Exactly, just like I was
resonated for you.
saying, like we wait for like a text that says, "I'm your spirit guide. My name is. I'll meet you here."
My
So
ship's
you're
summer.
so set on looking for a certain thing,
Right.
or you're so set on, well, she gets dimes. Why don't I get dimes?
Yeah.
So, and then you're like, where's my dimes? So know that because, and they don't lose their personality when they go over there. It stays the same. Now they do lose the ego things.
Thank God.
They lose the ego things. They lose anger. They lose the fear. Those things. The ego is human. Ego is not spirit. So they do lose those things. So if there was ever a misunderstanding or there was things that those individuals, you know, some of their shortcomings, maybe they had a short temper, maybe they weren't very nice, maybe they're greedy, they lose those things. And they through the reflection and going back to spirit world, they become a pure essence of love. So they don't lose their personality, but they lose all that ego shit that's human created. Because you create the fears here. You create fear. And fear is not knowing what's going to happen, like having an expectation of, and then not knowing what's going to happen. You just fear that. You fear the unknown. But if you can trust the universe, that the universe has your back, and that everything is happening exactly, like Amanda said, the way that it should, and the way that it needs to in order for you to grow and learn and move on, then you're on the right track. Anybody else have any questions about signs or symbols or spirit guides?
So when we pass away and our loved ones is it reincarnated or incarnated again? Are they going to be there still to greet us?
Good question. So it's hard to wrap our little human brain around, but our energy in the spirit world is infinite, and it never ends, okay? So when they choose, and when you choose, so all of you sitting here, you've chose to incarnate into this life, you still have energy in the spirit world, and or living another life. So know that, because people are like, well, what if I pass over and I get to heaven or spirit world, and my mom is in Africa living a life and I can't see her? Nope, they're there. So their energy will be there. It's hard for us to physically think that and understand it, because we're like, gotta see it, hear it, feel it. We're like solid. This is where I am. I can't be in two places at one time, or 3 or 4. Yeah. But know that when you incarnate into this life, you bring enough energy to do what you have to do. So you would never give yourself something in this life that you don't have enough energy to get through. You brought it all. You laid it out. You laid out your blueprint of this life. You set it up. I'm going to do this and this. I'm going to experience this. I'm going to marry this person, or I'm going to divorce this person. I'm going to have this many kids. And you said, okay, you got out your energy meter, for the lack of a better term. And you said, okay, I need this much energy. And I'm just simplifying it for you. But you brought the energy that you needed for this life. So know that everything in this life, you have the energy and you have the strength to get through and overcome and learn from. Well, you have energy in the spirit world. So it's the same. So like, let's say, for me, like I died, my other life, I died in the 80s. So maybe there is a family member that goes and gets a reading and wants to connect to that, to my soul of that person. That my soul is there to communicate that. Does that make sense? You guys following my?
It does.
Okay.
Do
So
you feel that when that happens, do you think, or is that a completely different?
I don't think that you feel it. I mean, I've never felt it, but I don't know that if anyone's reached out to try and communicate. But know that your loved ones, your loved ones are there. If you go for a reading or you ask for signs and symbols, just, for your own self, know that they're there. They're not off somewhere else. I mean, I believe in the spirit world that there are things that they're doing. They're learning and growing and helping, and we do eventually get to a point where we don't have to come anymore, and we start.
I feel like I'm done. I just feel like I'm done.
I do too. I feel like I'm done too.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? Coming back.
You get to choose, and with your spirit guide, you decide that, and then you can become a spirit guide, and then you start that, junior apprenticeship. Maureen, you had a comment.
So my studies that I've been doing and stuff that I've been learning is because our bodies here is incapable of actually holding your energy when you're
Absolutely.
So we're actually, when we incarnate, we're actually bringing about 6% of our energy with us on this planet. And then as we're starting to shift and ascend, and we're bringing in more knowledge and stuff like that, they're always giving you downloads. And
Yes.
so
the ears.
increase
Your ringing in your ears is your downloads.
and you'll be able to bring in more of that energy. But even 1% does a lot more than,
Right.
than what.
Our human body,
Yes,
when our
it's not
souls
because of the-
slam into that little tiny body in the tummy, we bring, like Maureen is saying, a portion of that energy, like I was saying. And it doesn't all fit in there. And our spirit and our soul has to acclimate with that human body in there in that form.
So, sorry, I'm just having visuals. So to understand it, this is just a visual I just got. It's kind of like blood in your body. Okay, you're producing blood in your body, but I can donate blood and put it into this person to help them. Okay, double lives, double souls, or whatever.
Yes.
But source will still constantly produce more,
Correct.
as long as it's alive.
Yeah.
That's kind of like source. You're taking and putting pieces out.
Yes.
Fucking awesome.
Yes. Your energy never
Wow.
your energy never ends. It never stops. It's
Right.
infinite. It never
And I
never
believe
ends.
that.
Yes.
I believe that. But
But
to
you,
think
the energy, yes.
in that way, it was just like an aha for me.
Yeah. And has everybody heard of the word aura? Auras. And your aura is your energy field. Aura. So, I believe that your aura and that energy that's projecting out, that like you're all projecting right now and feeling each other's energies, that's part of your soul. That's part of your essence, because our energy doesn't fit in this container, in this suit that we wear. And so it projects out and it comes out, and that's how we communicate with each other. We used to. Now we just communicate with our mouths and body language, but that's how we used to communicate, is through energy, and that's how the spirit world communicates. It's through energy. They don't have mouths. They don't talk. We don't talk. They don't. So
It's
that.
a big change for you.
So no. It's actually really not though, because I've actually,
telepathy.
this is kind of crazy. I've sat in front of my husband and had full-on conversations with him eye to eye.
Yes.
Through soul.
Right. And
soul to soul. I've experienced
Right.
that, and it's a totally different level. I know it is kind of hard because I'm a loud bitch. But
Yes.
I've experienced that where I can conversate with people
Yes.
just by looking into their eyes.
yes, and you probably
sure.
have all experienced that, where maybe the doorbell rings or a phone rings and you already know who it is, or you already know something before you physically see it, hear it, or feel it. Eric and I do the same thing. We know what each other is thinking all the time, or he says it and I was like, I was just going to say that, or I was just thinking that. So your energy and your thoughts basically broadcast out into the universe. And if you're sensitive or you're paying attention or you're listening, you can hear them or feel them. And that's what this energy body does. We just over time, humans and society have lost that, and have lost that. It's not gone. It's just we don't access it like we used to. We don't listen to it. We don't pay attention to it because we can't touch it, or see it, or hear it. So know that you have all of that here. And people go to psychic mediums because they want direction or guidance or advice for themselves. And most of the time when they come, when you sit down with a psychic, it's usually not like brand new information or earth-shattering. It's usually stuff you already know is going on. Yeah. It's just you're meeting with someone that doesn't know you, and then they speak it, and it validates what you're already feeling or kind of maybe leaning towards.
Well,
So
I think sometimes you guys speak it and it makes more sense.
yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like my brain's like mush.
Right.
and it's just
Well,
not-
and spirit,
hear it
yeah.
out. Right.
Yeah, spirit speaks it. So sometimes for me, it doesn't always make sense because spirit speaks energetically and it allows me to feel it energetically. So I'm feeling it through my chakras. And so sometimes it's hard for me to take what I feel or see or hear and then put it into English and communicate it.
Right.
Have I said that to you before? Like, let me see. Autumn's come to me before. So, and I'll say, okay, I'm not sure what they mean by this. Let me try to So I'm just a mouthpiece. And sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
She's a medium.
The medium, right, that's where it comes from, the in-between. So, we have a couple of minutes. I would like for you guys, I was gonna do one of two things. We can either do, if you feel like you still need to address the events that we kind of talked about with the individuals in your lives, and you want me to do a hypnotherapy where we turn it up or turn it down, we can do that. Or we can do a meditation and I can ask you to communicate and we call in your spirit guides and you can ask for signs. What would you guys rather do? Because we don't have time for both. Signs. Okay. You guys feel like we addressed the loved ones that we love now?
I didn't realize I had so much pain for that person.
Right?
I thought my pain was coming from something else. So that was really...
Well, and like I said, a lot of times we know that there's something there, but we just kind of stuff it back down in. We open the drawer, we put it in, shut it, put the lock on it, and throw the key. So we'll let these guys get out.
A question why this is going on.
Yeah.
Like this. Have you ever read Many Lives, Many Masters?
I have not read that one. I've heard of it.
Okay. And secondly, I don't know if I missed this but how did you come to realize that you had a soul that died in the 80s?
Oh, okay. So I went to a practitioner that offers past life readings.
Okay, well that's what that's what that book is kind of about.
Right. And I offer those as a hypnotherapist. But I went and did my own.
Yeah.
I can also, as a intuitive psychic, I can also access your past lives. So you can do it. Thank you. You can do it one of two ways. You can come and do a reading and I access it intuitively and then I speak it and tell it to you. Or hypnotherapy is you come and you do the work and you get to experience it, which usually is more powerful because you're experiencing it. You're seeing it, hearing it, and feeling it.
Okay. Well,
So
that book, he is a therapist.
Okay.
And
Okay.
past regression.
Yes. So, all right, let's do, I'm going to take
I want
you.
to save time at the end for a group.
Okay. Yeah, I just got to be back to work at 2.
Okay.
Or we both do.
Perfect.
So I'm going to have you sit straight on your chairs. Again, feet on the ground. If you want to put your pens, papers down. And just close your eyes again. And knowing that the moment that you close your eyes, and take away the visual stimuluses, your vibration raises. It's broadcasting even stronger. Your light is brighter. So take some deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Focusing your energy. Focusing your awareness on the center of your forehead. That is your third eye. Just bringing that awareness there. Just relaxing, feeling your body kind of melt into the chair. Let your shoulders relax. Your arms relax. Let your neck just float on the top of your shoulders as if it's rubber. Feeling your arms becoming very heavy. Your eyes are heavy. Noticing that it would take more energy to open the eyes than to just keep them closed. I would like for you to visualize yourself walking down a beautiful path. You're outside in a beautiful space. It's sunny. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. It's quiet, but it's peaceful, and you feel safe. And as you're journeying down your path, you come to a beautiful tree. And at the base of the tree is a door. And you can make this door any shape, size, color. As you walk up to the door and you reach out. And you reach out for the doorknob. And you push the door open. And you go inside. It feels comfortable. It feels familiar. And as you look around inside, it's a beautiful space. It's safe. And you could decorate this space any way you would like. This is your private, personal space. And in the middle of this space, there are 2 chairs. And make these chairs any way you want them. Or maybe you want to sit on the floor. Go to the center of the room in your space and have a seat. I would like for you now, in your space, in your own mind, in your own soul, to call on your spirit guide and ask them to join you in your personal, private, safe, comfortable space. Ask them to have a seat with you. And it's okay if you don't feel like you can see anything or recognize or experience a visual, but can you feel something? Can you hear something? Can you smell something? You can even ask your spirit guide to touch you. And you may feel it on your physical skin sitting here today. I would like you now to ask your spirit guide to give you a sign. And you can ask your guide to give you a sign, and you can set a time frame. Ask your guide to please give me a sign within the next 3 days. Whatever feels good to you. Your spirit guide may even give you what the sign will be. So trust whatever pops into your awareness. I'm going to give you a few moments with your spirit guide. If there's any other questions that you want to ask. Just trust the first thing that comes to you. First thought, first feeling. Always trust that. You may even want to ask your spirit guide's name. Trust your first thought. I would like for you now to thank your guide for joining you. Offer gratitude. They love to be appreciated. They love joy, they love humor, and they love gratitude. Thank them for joining you, and ask them to join you in this room again every time you choose to journey there. Go ahead and stand up from your seated position. Just allow yourself with your eyes closed, just kind of stretch. And you're going to begin to journey your way out the door of the tree and journey back through the path. Allowing yourself to feel the warm sunshine, to hear the birds chirping, to feel the peace and the love of the universe. Knowing that the universe always has your back, will always provide for you, will always give you what you need when you need it. It's not always when you want it, but it's when you need it. And as you journey through your path, begin to bring your awareness back to this room. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. I want to thank you all for coming today and joining me. I truly enjoyed being here and sharing my experiences, my gift. Namaste.
Namaste. Yay. Oh my God, that was fucking beautiful. All right, I gotta go back on that. That's how we do it. I know it's gotten really long, but that was magical, huh? How many of you was reflecting back into your life and have somebody that you can positively blame for where you are today? I know I can. I know I can. And in the moment, you look at it in such a negative, like so much pain, so much heartbreak. But yet, you know, when you make it through, when you sift through the dirt and you pick up the golden nuggets, you can look back and you can say, God damn it, fucking thank you. Thank you for pushing me out to live my best life, and I will positively blame you for where I am today. Because I know I have a lot of those in my life. So thank you for giving us all of that. Once again, let's give her another round of applause. You're welcome. I love you. I love you. I love you too. You know, something that came to my mind really quick was, I came into your life in one of your darkest moments. And I remember when you opened the door, when she named Sassy, I was like fucking throwing myself at her. Hug me, just like I did every one of you. Like, I'm gonna throw myself at you, and I hugged you, and I loved you, and I remember some of our moments turned into long nights just sipping wine, like, and just being there for each other. But you returned the favor this last year when I was going through some of my hard times, and you came up here, and we were gonna buy her another house and sell her house this year. Mm-hmm. And you returned that favor to me. So thank you.
You're welcome.
We met up about buying a house, and we sat on the couch for 3 fucking hours and drank wine. And it was really awesome. So I hope that you guys all have those people that you are aligning yourself with in life, that you know you formed these soul contracts with, to help you evolve and vibrate into your best version of yourself that you're here to do. So, and if you haven't, my door's always open. I love everybody. So thank you guys all for coming. Let's give her one more round of applause so that we can put the chairs away. And let's take some pictures. Or do you want to do raffles really quick? Sorry, let's go ahead and do raffles, then we're gonna do a group photo.